Story 1, The Hunter's Prey. It was the summer of 2014. My brother, Jack, and I, fresh out of college, decided to celebrate by hiking the Appalachian Trail. Jack was the athletic one, his 6'2" frame built for outdoor pursuits, while I was more of a bookworm, but we both shared a love for nature, a passion inherited from our late father. Our journey started from Springer Mountain in Georgia, with plans to make it to North Carolina. The first couple of days were idyllic. I was awestruck by the vast expanse of greenery, the calming sounds of nature, and the crisp, fresh air that was a far cry from the polluted city atmosphere I was used to. On the third day, we found a picturesque spot near a babbling stream to set up camp. As we were pitching our tent, Jack noticed a figure in the distance. A man, probably in his 50s, dressed in camo gear, a hunting rifle slung over his shoulder. His salt and pepper hair peeked out from under a weathered hat. We waved at him, trying to be friendly, but his only response was an unsettling, stone-cold stare before he disappeared into the thick woods. That night, the tranquility of the wilderness was marred by the sound of footsteps circling our camp. The noises were heavy, deliberate, echoing ominously in the silent night. We called out, but the only response was our own voices echoing back at us. The following morning, we woke up to a horrifying sight. Animal carcasses were strewn around our campsite, a grotesque display that made our stomachs churn. The realization that we were not alone in these woods, combined with the previous night's events, made us decide to cut our trip short. As we packed up, we noticed the hunter again. He was standing at the edge of the woods, that same eerie smile playing on his lips. His icy gaze bore into us, a silent threat that sent chills down our spine. We left in a hurry, the unnerving image of the hunter's malevolent grin forever etched in our memories. Story 2, The Hunted. In the fall of 2018, my friends and I, all juniors in college, decided to take a break from our hectic study schedules and go camping in the backwoods of Montana. There was Liz, an aspiring journalist with an infectious laugh, Mark, the jock with a heart of gold, and me, the aspiring filmmaker, always looking for a new story. We chose a remote spot near Flathead Lake, a place so serene it felt like it was straight out of a postcard. One evening, as we sat around the campfire, the orange glow illuminating our faces, we noticed a flashlight beam cutting through the darkness. A man emerged, introducing himself as Dave, a local hunter. He was a hulk of a man, with a bushy beard and a deep, rumbling voice. He shared stories of his hunting adventures, and we listened, captivated by the tales he spun. However, as the night wore on, we started hearing strange noises. Twigs snapping, leaves rustling, and an occasional eerie sound of something heavy being dragged. The laughter died down, replaced by a tense silence. We retreated to our tents, fear creeping in, replacing the warmth of the campfire. The following morning, we woke to a gruesome sight. A deer carcass was hanging from a nearby tree, its eyes wide open, frozen in terror. The sight was so shocking that Liz let out a horrified scream. We decided to leave immediately. As we packed our stuff, Dave reappeared. His friendly demeanor had evaporated, replaced by a cold, almost sinister smile. His eyes, which had seemed warm and friendly last night, now looked predatory. "Leaving so soon?" he asked, his voice carrying a hint of mockery. We nodded, mumbling something about an emergency. His smile widened, and it took every ounce of my courage not to bolt right then. As we drove away from the campsite, I couldn't shake off the feeling that we had narrowly escaped a dangerous situation. The sight of the deer carcass, the strange noises, and Dave's transformation from a friendly stranger to an intimidating figure, it was all too creepy. We never went back to those woods, and Dave, the hunter, remains a chilling figure in our college memories, a terrifying reminder of the time we felt like the hunted. Story 3, The Faceless Hunter. My family owned a rustic cabin in the dense woods of Wisconsin. It was a charming two-story structure with a large stone fireplace, a wraparound porch, and an attic that my siblings and I used as our secret hideaway. Every summer, we'd spend a week there, away from the hustle and bustle of city life. One summer, when I was around 16, I decided to take a solo walk in the woods. The day was bright and sunny, the forest alive with the sounds of chirping birds and rustling leaves. But as I walked deeper into the woods, I noticed a figure standing near an old oak tree. It was a man, dressed in faded hunting gear, the brim of his hat casting a shadow over his face. I called out a greeting, but he didn't respond. A shiver ran down my spine, and I quickly turned around, heading back to the familiar comfort of our cabin. That night, as the sun dipped behind the trees, casting long, eerie shadows, I saw the same figure standing at the edge of the woods. His face was still obscured, and he stood as still as a statue. I told my dad, and we both went outside, armed with flashlights, but the mysterious figure was gone. For the remainder of our stay, we would often find dead animals near our cabin, a squirrel, a bird, once even a fox. And sometimes, we'd see the Faceless Hunter, always watching us from a distance, his presence casting a pall of fear over our once peaceful retreat. Despite never knowing his intentions or identity, the Faceless Hunter remains a chilling presence in my memory, turning our idyllic family getaway into a haunting tale of fear and mystery.